Welcome to our Middle East briefing program. Today, we delve into the latest developments in the region, starting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's announcement that Israel is investigating a deadly airstrike near Rafah. The tragic event led to the deaths of at least 45 civilians, with many more injured, sparking a wave of international condemnation and scrutiny over Israel's military actions in Gaza. Netanyahu emphasized that Israel strives to avoid harming non-combatants, but the incident has been described as a massacre by Gaza's health authorities. In other news, Memorial Day messages from President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump have highlighted their contrasting approaches. While Biden focused on the importance of democracy and the sacrifices made by military families, Trump used the occasion to attack his perceived enemies, calling them human scum. Biden's heartfelt message resonated with many, as he related the pain of losing a child to the grief felt by military families, whereas Trump's tirade added to the ongoing political drama. Lastly, the Libertarian Party has nominated Chase Oliver as their candidate for the 2024 U.S. presidential election. Oliver, an openly gay former Democrat, brings a unique perspective to the race with his pro-immigration and pro-criminal justice reform stance. Although the Libertarian Party has historically struggled to gain significant traction, Oliver's candidacy could impact the election by drawing votes away from both Biden and Trump. His campaign promises to be an intriguing addition to the political landscape. Please stay tuned for more detailed coverage on these stories. Yahoo US reported that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed the Knesset regarding a tragic incident in Rafah where an Israeli airstrike killed numerous civilians. Netanyahu emphasized that despite efforts to avoid civilian casualties, the incident resulted in significant loss of life, which is under thorough investigation. The Hamas-run health authority in Gaza reported 45 deaths, mostly women and children, describing the event as a massacre. Images and reports from the scene depicted Palestinians inspecting the destruction of their tents in the Al-Mawasi area, highlighting the devastating impact on displaced families. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation covered Foreign Minister Penny Wong's reaction to the Israeli airstrikes in Rafah, which killed at least 45 Palestinians and injured dozens. Wong condemned the strikes, describing their consequences as horrific and unacceptable. The report coincided with a busy legislative week in Australia, where MPs and senators were engaged in budget estimates. The live blog provided ongoing updates on the situation, reflecting the international concern over the escalating violence and its toll on civilians in Gaza. The Washington Post detailed the harrowing aftermath of the Rafah airstrike, with eyewitnesses recounting the chaos and horror as fires engulfed the tent camp in Tal al-Sultan. The strike, which killed at least 45 people, including many children, drew widespread condemnation and further scrutiny of Israel's offensive. Eyewitnesses described scenes of burning tents, charred bodies, and desperate cries for help. Medical facilities struggled to cope with the influx of severely injured victims, lacking essential supplies. The international community, including leaders from France, Canada, and Germany, called for an immediate ceasefire, emphasizing the urgent need to protect Gaza's civilian population. Yahoo US reported that President Biden and Donald Trump issued contrasting Memorial Day messages, with Biden emphasizing the importance of democracy and unity, while Trump used the occasion to attack his perceived enemies. Biden, after a solemn ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery, spoke of the ongoing battle between autocracy and democracy and the personal pain of losing his son Beau. Trump initially posted a respectful message but later erupted into vitriol, attacking judges and political opponents, including Judge Lewis Kaplan and E. Jean Carroll, who won a defamation case against him. The Independent detailed the nomination of Chase Oliver by the Libertarian Party for the 2024 presidential election. Oliver, a former Democrat and openly gay man from Georgia, has little chance of winning but could influence the election by siphoning votes from both Biden and Trump. His journey to libertarianism began at the Atlanta Pride Festival in 2010, inspired by John Mons. Oliver has been active in Georgia politics, advocating for criminal justice reform and running in various elections, though with limited success. His pro-immigration and limited government stance could attract dissatisfied voters from both major parties. Yahoo US also covered the upcoming South African elections, highlighting the challenges faced by the ruling African National Congress, ANC. President Cyril Ramaphosa's party is losing ground due to poor government services and rampant poverty. Key battlegrounds include KwaZulu-Natal, where the ANC is competing with the Inkatha Freedom Party and Jacob Zuma's new party, and Gauteng, where the ANC is implementing measures to regain support. The Western Cape, dominated by the Democratic Alliance, presents a different political landscape with emerging rivals like the Patriotic Alliance and Freedom Front Plus. The ANC's legacy and its ability to address issues like crime will be crucial in determining its electoral success. Yahoo US, on Memorial Day, the Mitchell community gathered at Servicemen's Cemetery to honor the brave soldiers from their area who had fallen in combat. Former South Dakota Senator Mike Vell gave a heartfelt speech recounting the heroic tales of Air Force pilot Tommy Callies, who was shot down in Vietnam in 1969, and Army Sergeant Greg Wagner, who was killed by an IED in Baghdad in 2006. Both men have bridges named after them as part of South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's initiative to honor fallen soldiers. Vell emphasized the importance of remembering these sacrifices beyond just Memorial Day. Additionally, Bonita and Malin Shu were awarded Army Commendation Medals for their distinguished service, highlighting the ongoing recognition of military dedication within the community. South China Morning Post, Mongolian director Kgvajalam Puravokar has been making waves in the film industry with her debut feature, City of Wind, which has garnered awards and nominations from prestigious festivals worldwide, including Venice and Hollywood. Following her success, she participated in the International Film Camp at Sands China, Macau, where she received funding to create a new short film, A South-Facing Window. This project will delve into the lives of a young couple in Ulaanbaatar, exploring their relationship and the broader societal issues in Mongolia. Puravokar's work is deeply influenced by her experiences growing up during Mongolia's economic transition in the 1990s, and she continues to use her films to document and reflect on her homeland's unique challenges and stories. Yahoo US, despite the rain, hundreds gathered in Westbrook, Maine, for the annual Memorial Day parade and ceremonies to honor fallen soldiers. The events, led by veterans like Navy veteran Phil Spiller Jr., included speeches, prayers, and the recitation of In Flanders Fields. The parade featured Susan and Nelson Graham as co-grand marshals, both veterans who met while stationed at Fort Monroe. Commander Dennis Merritt of the American Legion highlighted Westbrook's long history of military service, recalling local soldiers who had died in combat. After the parade, veterans Ron Coate and Tom Haskell reflected on the significance of the day as they visited the Westbrook Veterans Brick Memorial, ensuring the memories of those who served continue to be honored. BBC, at the scene of a deadly strike in Rafah, at least 45 people were killed on Sunday, according to the Hamas-run health ministry. The devastating attack left hundreds more grappling with severe burns, fractures, and shrapnel wounds. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has described the strike as a tragic mishap amidst a rising tide of international condemnation. The Israeli army stated that their intent was to target two senior Hamas leaders. BBC's Middle East correspondent, Lucy Williamson, provides a harrowing account of the strike and its catastrophic aftermath, painting a vivid picture of the chaos and suffering that ensued. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.